Hey guys, it's Kelly, and today's video is actually going to be a questions and answers video. Dallas is going to ask me the questions and I am going to answer them. This is nothing that anybody specifically has asked me to answer. I just wanted to do this just so y'all could get to know me a little bit better. It's just pretty much questions that I came up with. However, there are a few that y'all have recently asked. However, I have answered them. But this is just going to be a video of a lot of questions and a lot of answers. However, if y'all do have any questions, go ahead and post them down below and I will jot them down in my little YouTube notebook and I will answer them in a separate video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And here we go. All right, so let's get started with the first question.
So, what is your name?
Well, I've always introduced as Kelly, so that's my name. I'm not gonna give my last name right now, but my name is Kelly.
And how do you spell that?
K-E-L-L-E-Y.
And Kelly, how old are you?
I am 26.
26. Okay, 1992. How old are your babies?
Our babies are 3, Lander's 3, and Lakeland is, or will be 9 months on Saturday.
Well, feels like it was yesterday since she was born.
For both of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, very much so. Were you in fact adopted?
Yes, I was.
Do you have a relationship with your birth family at all?
That I will say for y'all to understand, just because me and Dallas have kind of talked about this in the past in one of our vlog videos, that is a really sensitive subject, and no, the answer is no, and the answer is hell no. Like, no.
And a double no.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, maybe I'll make another video in the future. Me and Dallas have talked about this, and I don't really want to go into detail as of right now, but it was very toxic, and as I've gotten older I've realized that. So, you know, I know where I came from, and that's all I need to know, and yeah.
The rest is history.
Pretty much. Like, I'm grateful and thankful for the life I have and wouldn't trade a thing.
Very good. Do you work?
I do work. I actually work from home to be able to take care of my mom and the kiddos. I'm very grateful and blessed for the job that I do have. It's just a local company. I'm a relationship manager for a few websites that my boss has built. It's pretty much just me and him, and then there's another side to it where it's other websites, and it's me and one of my friends, and then him, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I work from home about 4 to 5 hours a day.
And do you like it?
I do like it. It's actually overwhelming, especially when there's kids running around and babies needing food and needing to lay down for a nap. And then when my mom is here, I have to tend to her and care for her needs as well. But I do like it, and I'm grateful for it.
It sounds like it's a lot of hits and miss, but you actually do pretty good for it. So, gotta give you a thumbs up for that one.
Thank you.
All right. Are you in college at all?
I am in college. I'm actually a student at the University of Tennessee. Obviously in Tennessee, I'm a Vol. Go Vols. Whoop whoop.
You
Supporting my team. But yeah, I am a student. I have been a student for a little over a year now. And we'll see what the future holds.
And what is your major in college?
My major is electronic media, broadcasting, journalism, whatever you want to call it. I actually really want to go into either radio, like country radio, or I want to be a sports broadcaster on the news. And I have I'm getting a bachelor's in that, so I have about 2 years, maybe a little bit less left. So I'm really, really pumped, and I really love vlogging, making videos, so this has always been my dream. I've actually switched, let's say, about a year. How many years ago was it that I started school?
About maybe 2 years.
2 years. I went to Walter State for a few years, right after, it was a year after Lander was born. No, it was a few months, no, it was a year.
And it was about almost a year. I wouldn't necessarily say a full year, but almost a year.
Yeah, it was about a year after Lander was born, because again, this adoption thing and finding my birth family set me back from the age of 18 up until I was 23. So that set me back a lot, but I am motivated as ever and I'm gonna pursue my dreams. But what I was gonna say was I actually switched my major to dental hygiene just because it's really good money and it's very easy to do with kids pretty much. So you have your Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job and then weekends off.
And she loves teeth.
Yeah, and I do love teeth. However, that is just so far out of my reach right now, especially with a 9-month-old. And you know, we do want a bigger family one day. So it's really, really hard to actually be able to stay focused and be able to do sciences because it takes a ton of science. And let me just say, like, science is not my cup of tea. I mean, I love dental hygiene. I would love to one day have a career in it. However, that's not my dream. My dream from the moment that I understood what degrees and majors were has always been broadcasting. And so I'm gonna stick to it and go after this dream no matter the cost.
Well, you are a very ambitious creature. And I have to give you a lot of credit for taking care of 2 kids, not 1, but 2, and also going to school. So,
well,
big thumbs up.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I couldn't do it without you.
No. All right, so how long have you and me been together?
Well, we have known each other since 2012. However, you know, we've had our, you know, handful of issues.
Just like any other couple does, and yeah.
Yeah, so we lived separately for a while. We never actually, even to this day, we never have a set time because this one never really asked me out. So we don't actually have a date. I mean, we are obviously together, but we don't have like, what is it?
Titles?
Yeah, we don't necessarily have titles. We're just, I mean, we just are.
Yeah.
And we just go with the flow of life and we do whatever our heart tells us to do. We did relate way back in 2012. We actually did relate on adoption. That's actually how I found him. One of my friends actually introduced us, and you know,
at Sears.
Yeah, he was actually working at Sears at the time, and we went in there and I met him, and I just literally found my birth family. I found them in June of 2011, literally right after, like 2 weeks after I graduated high school. That was a whirlwind in itself. And then I met him and I was able to relate with somebody on the adoption standpoint. So that's how we've always connected. We will always have that bond. We always will understand each other better than anybody else could ever understand us. We know the hurt, we know the pain, we know the sorrows, we know the happiness, we know the laughter, we know
tears, we know the sorrow. Yeah, we just know virtually almost literally everything when it comes down to adoption. And if anybody was to come up to us and was like, oh, well, how does adoption feel? We can pretty much throw every single emotion out there as what it feels like to be adopted. It has its good and its bad, just like any other family, just like any other kid. We're not any different from any other family, but we definitely know what it feels like to be adopted.
However, on my journey, he's not actually met his biological family. They're actually in the Philippines. So he hasn't had the opportunity to actually physically meet them. However, they do follow us on Facebook. They're friends with us and they see everything, and he's FaceTimed them a few times, but he hasn't been there yet. But I have met my birth family, as I said, and I've known about them, know who they were for 7-8 years now. And I can say that when he says, like, we know the pain of it. So I still have my issues when it comes to abandonment and rejection, but I wouldn't change my life for anything. Like, the things that I deal with are things that I need to learn to cope with. I wouldn't want to have a different life. I wouldn't have wanted to not have been adopted, to be honest. Knowing what I know now, I am very blessed and very grateful. And, you know, as my biological mother once told me, she regrets the decision that she made by, you know, going forth with the pregnancy and then giving me up for adoption. But I'm here, I have a purpose, and I'm gonna live it to the fullest. A little bit of a side note on all of that when it comes to adoption, I will give a little insight on this. My biological mother actually had 2 other kids at the time and lost one in utero at 7 months along. Then she got pregnant with me, and let's just say she had 4 kids in 4 years. So she was 18, had one. I don't know what age she was when she had the one that she lost in utero, but whatever age that was. And then the next one she had, I think at 21 or 22, because me and that one are 15 months different. So that one's that one is actually 15 months older than me, and then it was me, and then she gave me up, and then 4 years later she had another one. So, you know, there's a reason for everything, and I wouldn't trade a thing. I'm thankful for the opportunities to have gotten to know who they are, and that's the end of that.
Made a lot more friends and far less enemies.
Yeah.
Again. But maybe one day we'll probably fill that in a little bit more. Alright. So, next question. What is y'all's? I'm just kidding, cut. Alright. Are you an only child? Actually, you just explained that.
Yeah, I am. My parents didn't have kids of their own, and they never adopted. So yes, I am an only child. I mean, I'm sure y'all seen in other vlogs, but you know, I create my own family. None of my family that's around me, I have never been with or raised with blood, like DNA, anybody that shares the same DNA with me. So my family is all chosen family, and we seem to have the strongest bonds.
And that is for certain.
So yeah, I have a mom, the mom that actually adopted me, and then I have another one that I would consider my mom as well. However, just like any other family that has their ups and downs,
You just tend to not talk anymore, you know, for a while, or you know, you have to take a step back and try to rediscover yourself and let them rediscover what they look at and what they see and how they feel about life, because not everybody looks at everything the same. So it's just one of those things where you just don't talk and you just live life, and eventually if those roads come back and they cross paths, then it comes back.
but one thing's for certain, like regardless of what you go through, I can honestly say that when you love somebody, regardless of who it is, like it doesn't change anything. Yeah, you can be mad and you can be hurt, you can be upset on the situation, but it doesn't change anything, and I think that's for both parties. There's just a point in time where I'll personally say, this doesn't really have anything to do with these questions, but it has to do with me as a person, and I'm gonna be as open and honest with y'all as I can on this YouTube channel, because one day y'all will be like a family to me. So the biggest thing is I myself have been battling my own demons, and yes, a lot of that has had to do with adoption. And when it comes to abandonment and rejection, somebody can be like, just not respond at a certain amount of time. And it's not like my friends, it's the people that mean more to me than a friend. So like my moms, either one of them. If you don't respond to me, then I'm like, okay, well, what did I do? Like, are you there? Are you gone again? Because I've gone through that. Obviously at birth, that's rejection. That's what any adopted kid would feel, would be rejection, until they understand the situation. So all my life I went through, this lady gave birth to me and gave me up. And then I have a mom that, you know, wanted me and loved me enough and chose me to adopt me as her own. She never could actually fill that void. I always had that void. And there's points in times where I actually, and he understands this completely, you look at other people as mom figures. You look at them as being a mom, and it's like that void within inside your soul is like whole, and the puzzle pieces are matched. It doesn't have to be the person that literally gave birth to me, because that's not what I want anymore. That person I do not want. And I know that's harsh and sad to say, but that's true. Like, we can't be in each other's life. Point blank, period. And I'm a very overwhelming person, and I tend to cling pretty hard to my mom, or I shouldn't even say my mom, because the relationships are different. So to the other person that fills that void, I cling pretty hard. And I can be too much to handle, and yeah.
Well, I mean,
but
with being that way, again, that just comes with the whole rejection, and you know, just always trying to make things perfect, because you know the way you look at adoption, you just never feel perfect. I mean, every household just doesn't feel perfect, but it's very extremely different for somebody who's adopted, because they don't have blood relatives, especially when they find out later on in their lives that they absolutely have blood relatives that they grew up with. Like, everything, they felt like it was a lie. I actually have my own opinions as far as when somebody should know when they're adopted and things like that, but that's a totally different story in itself. But yeah, just the outburst sometimes, it's very extremely real. The anxiety is very extremely real, because you just don't know whether you're going to be kicked to the curb, or they just look at you different because, hey, you know, like me, I'm brown skinned, my whole family's white, but yeah, it's kind of like a little speck of pepper and salt. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's where a lot of mental and outbursts, outrageous, and just being mad sometimes. Actually, you'll find yourself being mad a lot. But I'm gonna let her take that back over.
And like, when I was saying, like, I'm gonna be as open and honest as I can, I actually recently was diagnosed with postpartum depression, and it's actually not only postpartum, but it's actually depression too. And I knew for the longest that something was going on, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to do anything. And like I said, I was 18 when I met my biological family, and when I gave birth to Lander, I was actually 23. So there's depression streaming for 5 years up until the age of 23, just depression. And then I give birth to him, and that depression turns to postpartum. Well, adds on and becomes postpartum and depression, and then still not dealt with, still not doing anything. And then last May, gave birth to Lakeland, and again turned to postpartum. And I realized with things that I've been facing in life that I can't handle them. I cannot handle them with 2 kids. I just can't do it. Like, I had to reach out for help. And I'm not a person that likes prescriptions. Like, I don't like taking medicine. I don't like the way they make me feel. I don't like having to try all these different ones. To find the one that works for my body, I just want to just be healed just like that, like a snap of a finger, or, you know, anything like that. I just don't like it. So I've recently had to start taking that, and I still have my battles, obviously, with what my mom's going through. And obviously, you know, sometimes you have to part ways from people, and that's really hard in itself too, learning to let go. That is so hard, but it's something that I'm learning every single day, and it does become easier. But like I said, just because you have to make those decisions and let go and walk away doesn't mean you love that person any less, regardless of what you feel on the inside. So with that being said, like, I'm all for mental health. And
yeah, because mental health is a real thing. Depression is a real thing. Postpartum is a real thing. That's nothing to be trifled with, because I have a lot of friends. I've had a lot of families, or lose a lot of friends and a lot of families due to mental things. You know, what you think mentally, what goes on, what clicks off in the side of your head. I mean, it's just a very serious thing, and it's just something that you just don't mess with, and you don't make fun of. If somebody's
because what you see from the picture, because I can honestly say, from a picture, I always portrayed a whole different Kelly. Like, you think I was always happy, and, you know, I have this big smile, like, life is just beautiful, life is everything. In reality, those pictures mean nothing, because on the inside, I was dying. And I was battling my own demons every single day, and I didn't know how to deal with it, because I have to kind of put my life on hold, and I had to focus on the needs of 2 kids, not just one, not just me anymore, 2 kids and myself, and it was really hard. And then of course I had to, you know, give Dallas what he needed as well. I was out here just drowning out to sea, trying to make everybody else happy, and obviously not even just happy, but my responsibilities always came first too. And there's just a point in time where you just say, I can't do this no more. I'm not gonna have these thoughts. I'm not gonna have these demons sitting on top of my shoulder or in my brain fighting me every day. I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna get the help I need. And reaching out, getting help you need doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you weak at all. It doesn't make people think you're weak. It actually makes you strong. It shows that you have strength and you're willing to battle through whatever you're feeling on the inside. You're willing to face it head on and not give up. You're willing to do it for not only yourself, but your family and your friends. So, yeah, so that's pretty much that. And
I always found that if you love something, you let it go. If it comes back, then it was meant to be. Other than that, if it doesn't, then it's just a different calling, and you know, you just roll into the next chapter in your life, and you just play your role and stay in your lane and just do you.
It's really sad.
It is very extremely sad. I've read a thing on Facebook. Actually, I can't remember if it was on Facebook, but if you admire a rose, you just look at it, and you know it'll go away, because winter, you know, during winter time it's going to die and wither, but it always comes back. But just leave the rose there. Don't pick it up, because it will die. But
don't touch it, don't talk to it, don't do nothing.
Yeah, just like a bird. If you see a bird in the cage and it wants to fly, let that bitch fly. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah.
But I will say, like, letting go is one of the most hardest things that I've ever faced in life, and I've faced it a lot. But I think when I truly found someone that means the most to me and learning to let go of that, that's like a whole different level of pain.
Yeah, and a good example, I mean, me and her, we've let go, we've tried letting go of each other so many times, but
it always came back.
It always came back. So I guess it just must have meant to be. Like, we went through some really, really bad times. Like, really bad. But that's no lie.
But thankfully, like, everything that I face now in this present moment and the past few weeks and the past few months, like, he's there he's there if I need to call him at any time during the day when he's at work and just like scream and yell. I actually did that yesterday because I literally was at my wit's end and like I didn't know how to cope and how to deal, but he's always there and he doesn't say anything, he just listens. And then finally when I get it all out, then he will speak to me and calm me down and say it's gonna be okay and remind me that he's there and that he loves me. And not at the end of the day, like, that's enough to help me through.
Yeah, because sometimes when somebody's talking about what they're going through, they're not always looking for a response or looking for a cure. Sometimes they just need to let it out. Mine was to actually go to a gym and beat a heavy bag. That was the way to get my frustration out. Or if I can just cast a line in the water and just sit back and maybe sip a couple beers or two. I mean, that was my thing. But
mine used to be running, but let me tell y'all, pushing a stroller with 2 kids, that's out. And finding time for the gym's pretty hard too.
Yeah. So
okay, let's go.
Okay. So next question. After are you an only child? Do we want more children?
Yes. Not right now. Again, I need to focus on my mental health at this time and focus on the school, getting through school, work, and focusing on the 2 kids we have, and of course getting a bigger house. And eventually I just obviously upgraded my car, or
yes, you actually upgraded your car.
Yeah, upgraded it, but not an upgrade as something bigger to hold a 3rd child. So we have to focus on all that before we have another. However, maybe when Lakeland's around the age of 2, maybe a little bit further, depending on how far I am with school and if we have a bigger house and a bigger car. So it depends on a lot. But probably when Lakeland's like maybe right at 2, 2.5, maybe as far as 3, because I don't want a big age difference between the kids. I always wanted to have my first to turn 2 or right before the age of 2, get pregnant with one, and then when the second one turns around the age of 2, have another one, and then so on and so forth. And I really want 4. I used to want 6, but with the 2 I have now, I think I'll stick with just 4. I want hopefully another boy and another girl, and then our family will be pretty much complete, unless there's an uh-oh and we have another. And if we do have another, I hate odd numbers, so we'd have to go for the 6th and get like 2 vans. But yeah, one day, definitely.
Yeah, and we'll get there eventually. Just takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and some.
And kids are expensive.
Yeah, I never thought so, but after going hand in hand with her for this house and the apartment, the struggle is real, guys. The struggle is real. All
but
right.
we make it.
Yes, we do. Somehow, some way. We
Teamwork.
always make it. Blow it up. All right. So, what is your YouTube channel about?
So my channel is pretty much just going to be based on lifestyle, mommy of 2, vlogging,
Hauls.
All
right. Vlogging, home decorations, which I can tell you right now, guys, she can decorate a home.
Yeah, like house tours and stuff, so you'll see quite a bit of those, because every season I'm always decorating.
Easter, St.
That's coming
Patty's,
soon.
yeah.
I don't know about St. Patty's, but we'll
4th
see.
of July, Lakeland's birthday, which is in May.
And then after that, what do we have?
Fall.
Yeah, fall. Then we got Halloween.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Then we got Lander's birthday, his 4th birthday, and then we have
Followed up with Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then here we go again.
Yep, all over again. Oh, let's not forget about New Year's. Wait, you don't even do anything for New Year's except for put on glasses and have like little numbers.
Pretty much, and make food.
Then,
But yeah, and then food making videos, like recipes and stuff, organization, cleaning, just motivational stuff, and then just being a mommy and showing y'all how we do life.
let's not forget about the shopping hacks that you do with like the Kirkland's and Kohl's 20% off and Kohl's cash and I don't know, all that crazy stuff. It's like,
Speaking of that, we have $70 Kohl's cash we need to go.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what this YouTube's gonna be about, and like a little bit of beauty as well.
So, what is your life motto?
My life motto would have to be what my channel pretty much represents. As you've probably seen the banner at the top of my YouTube channel, it says keeping life in focus. That is definitely my motto on everything. And of course I'm always in front of the camera, so keeping life in focus there. But in reality, to me, that means you focus on the now. You focus on what is right in front of you, not what's happened in the past, not what the future could hold, not the what ifs. You focus on right now, this very second. You try to see the positives. You just understand that, you know, tomorrow's not gotten here yet. We're still in today. And just like the song Luke Combs, if you haven't heard it yet, like, I'm going to link it down below. Y'all have got to go listen to it.
Very good song.
It's an unreleased song, so it's not out yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed, his next album will be coming sometime soon, and this song will be on there. But it's called Dear Today. And it pretty much says that, you know, don't take today for granted. Don't look at tomorrow right now. Look at today, because that clock is ticking down, and we don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. We don't know anything, but we know right now, this present moment, we are here. We have breath in our body, and we need to focus on that, not anything else. So live in the moment and just keep life in focus no matter what. And that's pretty much, you know, my favorite motto in life is keeping life in focus.
So, yeah.
But that was pretty much it for this questions and answers video. Hopefully it's not too long and dragged out, but hopefully this will let y'all get to know me a little bit better, and of course, but I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope that it brought y'all some positivity into your life. Hopefully we were able to inspire you. But I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.